What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Daniel Banks, aka DJ Fine, CEO of We Are Jersey Ent, We Are Jersey Magazine, and Jersey Diamonds. And I'm here with the band 4. They're trying to stay chill because they're always rowdy. So we don't want to get them too hype because it's gonna get too loud in here. But we got the band 4, man, from Jersey. We appreciate them coming through. There's a lot of talented guys in this band. We're missing one guy, but he gonna come through one day. We're gonna check him out, definitely. So guys, introduce yourselves. Started from this end and come all the way down.
Hey, it's Rob from the band 4. I'm the guitarist.
I'm Tommy. I'm the vocalist. I play other instruments too, but yeah.
My name is Shigno in the band, but my name is Adam. The guitarist. I play more instruments too, but yeah.
I'm Jex. I'm the drummer.
And I'm LJ, and I rap.
And who are we missing today?
Oh, and our bassist Kingber, or KB in the band.
Killer Bass.
Killer Bass.
Killer Bass. That's dope. So okay, so let's go back from humble beginnings, right? So let's talk about unifying the band. When did you guys all start? I know you guys are cousins, you guys are brothers, and they met you in 2017. So talk about the unity and the unifying of this band.
So the way it started was, like, the OG start was one day me and Jex, like, we were friends, and then me and Jex said, like, I was like, oh, yo, I got a piano, and Jex was like, oh, yo, you should come over, we could jam, because he played the drums, Adam plays guitar. So went over there, we played a few songs, messed around. Then we were like, yo, we need a bass player, because you can't have a band without a bass player. Right. So we were like, oh, my cousin Rob, who they were friends from high school, we were like, oh, he plays guitar, we'll just tell him to play the bass. He never ended up playing the bass. Except later on, maybe he did. But at that point, he was like, nah, I'm playing guitar. So then our other boy, KB, we were like, yo, we'll just teach you. He was always around us. He was our other boy. So we were just like, yo, we'll just teach you how to play bass. Not that we knew how to play it that well, but we figured it out. And then we met LJ at this place, Omi's, where we were performing at open mics. And from there, it's all history from there.
It's fun. Now, there's a uniqueness behind this number 4, and I'm gonna let him explain it
Okay.
in the long version.
Well, ever since I was little, I've been obsessed with the number 4. I seen it all over the place. I'd freak out because I'd see it on buses and stuff while going to school, or I stepped on the paper, looked down, it's a number 4 or something, like some weird stuff. But,
right.
Yeah.
So it's just symbolic, and his birthday is also December 4th. So just know that the number 4. Now let's talk about trust and unity, right? So when you guys are out there performing and everything, what are some of the rituals or some things you guys do before you actually start performing? Like, what are some of the warm-ups? Because again, like I said, you guys are friends naturally or related, but then also there's a trust factor even behind that. It goes even further beyond even personal relations, personal family ties and everything. Because you guys are performing, you're like, don't you embarrass me? You know what I'm saying? So now, what are some of the things you guys do traditionally as a band, as a team, to get yourselves prepped for a show?
Well, besides just practicing in general, usually it's like constant practice before an event. But I think we're still trying to figure it out. There's one event where we were like, yo, let's take we had the little shot bottles. Let's take a quick shot right before it. That was like the worst idea. Like destroyed. I think it was like a shot of tequila, and it was like destroyed my stomach right before it. And then we were like jumping around on stage. I was like, oh my god, it was a bad idea. But hey, you live and you learn. But
That was when, Camp Breeze Haven?
yeah, that was one. I think it was Urban Renaissance 4, ironically. But,
Absolutely.
I feel like a lot of things that we do are organic.
Yeah,
so it's not so much we say, all right, let's do this as a pre-game routine or a pre-performance routine, but it's just all right, you guys ready? Let's get hyped, let's hype each other up. So, and then it also comes out during the performance too, where we make eye contact or we jump around with each other. That's where a lot of it comes from.
Yeah, it's that connection that we have as friends, as brothers and stuff like that. It's just since we hang out, it's just we have that connection even on stage. So it's pretty amazing.
When did you guys know that you actually wanted to take this this band to the extreme that it's at now? Was it just we're really gonna do this? Coming up with the 4 for the name, and then actually now going out and performing and it being like being real to you guys, you know what I'm saying? Because some you're like, oh, we're just gonna practice, we're just a fun, it's a stress reliever and everything like that. But then now it's becoming reality. You know, you guys are really looking to take this thing very, very far. So like, at which point did it become real for you guys? Is that like we're really gonna do this band?
So I think 4 came earlier than when we really decided to go hard. I think 4 was just like I think that's part of the reason why we're like, whatever, just call it 4, because at that point we weren't like super serious about it anyway. It was just like, whatever. But then I think once we met LJ kind of inspired us to go further with things, I think, because I think it was inspirations that he had that kind of bled into what we wanted to, and it ultimately just, for the better anyway. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, what was your attraction to this band? Because, like I said, they met you in 2017, and they were hearing your lyricism and your rap arts and everything. So tell me about your attraction to the band, and then now kind of how you cohesively mend that into your performance life or into your rap artistry.
Well, it's kind of like what Tommy just said. Like, when they first started out, it was more of like a, we don't give a fuck. Like, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna go out. We're gonna make this music, and that sounded really fun to me. Like, to not care what anybody says, to not want to be like extremely perfect. Well, like they want to be the best that they can be.
Absolutely.
Obviously, everybody wants to be the best that they can be, but it's not like, super pressure to be like, oh, I gotta do this. It gotta be like super strict. It was more like, all right, we're making this music. We're having fun with it. Let's do it. So I was like, hey, I want to have fun too. Yeah. So I wanted to join them. And it was very fun. It's very fun to be around them, to perform with them, to hang out with them.
Yeah.
It's dope.
And now with the pressures that can come with, having a band with the time and putting things together, how do you keep the fun in it? Like, how do you guys keep the fun in the music? Because again, once you get to the business side of things, it can get real real heavy. And it's like, all right, guys, are we still having fun? Or are we talking about money, time, effort, all these different things when it comes to business? Like sometimes the fun can be lost. Go ahead.
I would say like it's mainly through maturity, like. Because, like, when we started, it wasn't really like that, like, in my perspective. It was, like, because of myself, I knew, like, all right, you know what, let me just rock out, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, but then, like, later on, like, as soon as I saw their visions or their philosophies, I started realizing, oh, you know what, why not, like, have that same mindset or view what they're viewing and seeing the new cultures and seeing the new vibes and seeing what can we do to be the best for people.
Absolutely.
I think it's also
well said, yeah.
It's also like not taking things too seriously, because if you stress over every little thing, and we've had this so many times before. We have huge arguments over like the dumbest thing, and then I think you just start to learn that most people, everybody in this band wants everybody to succeed. No one's like looking to tear anybody down. So I think it's just getting past that and realizing.
That's a good unity, definitely. Now you guys, for the most part, all work jobs, right? So music is part-time when it comes to like what you guys do on a regular basis. So, and you guys can go in whatever order you feel. How do you balance that, the 9 to 5 and the music when it comes to like this passion? Because again, at the end of the day, this is a therapeutic world. This is a therapeutic field. So when you guys are expressing yourselves, whether you're on stage, behind the scenes, in somebody's garage, somebody's bedroom, what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's something that you're letting out. So with having to hold something like that back for like, let's say 8 to 10 hours a day, and then finally being able to release it, what's that balance like for you? Do you guys feel like it's something that is good, or would you rather feel like you want to do this full time? Like, how would you guys feel?
I'll start. I feel like the reason I have a job is to fund the music. Like, I'm 100% obsessed with music. Like, music is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I guess the job is to fund that, to give me better equipment, better, I guess features, better placements or whatever, just to, make a name for myself. And once, I start making money off of music, then full time is in the horizons. I guess that's just me.
Definitely.
I don't know, I guess it's the same thing here, buying new equipment, drums, it's like,
because it adds
stuff
up.
breaks up. Yeah, stuff
up.
breaks, and if you don't have a job, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really work. I'm in school. I'm doing unemployment. I used to work at a high school for IT, but any money that I could get, I would put into the band for sure. Like, as long as it helps, I'm down.
And even that concentration too, like as far as like the balance, you can even say with your education to music, because now it's like, okay, I gotta study for this exam, I gotta write this paper, but I also gotta write these notes, you know, and I gotta create this sound, or I gotta go see the band and everything. So how do you balance that schoolwork and the lifestyle of music?
I was gonna say that every time if I'm like free at home, right away I'll be on the guitar. Like during breaks between classes, I'll be like, all right, let me hop on the guitar, let me jam out for a bit. It's just those little things that help that I will do. But yeah, I don't know what to say.
It's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's a heavy question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I think, music's not cheap, man. Everything's like, oh, it's only $1,000, and then when it's on sale, it's like, it's $9.89.
right.
It's like, it's not really a
the
sale.
taxes, it goes back up to
exactly. It's like $10.27. It's the same thing. But I think music. It's like LJ said. Music has given me the ability. I mean, working has given me the ability to pay for all of that anyway. So when I was going to college, like before I was going and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, it was either music or computer science. And I was like, this one could pay for it, that one's not going to pay for anything, ironically.
Right.
I think I made the right choice with going with computer science, but I like both. But still, I think that ultimately allows me to still do music. So, but balancing it, like working at the end of the day and then coming home and being able to just jump on the piano. Love that.
It's got to be therapeutic. It sounds like I can hear it. It's like you have a long day, you have to deal with, whatever you have to deal with, and then you go home, it's just like, all right, I'm in my meditation.
Yeah, you just forget everything. Then it's like 11 o'clock at night, it's like, damn, I gotta go to bed now.
It's not all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I would say I just recently started going back to school, going back to college.
Nice.
Because I was working full time at the airport. It was pretty rough with the scheduling and everything because their operations, they're very critical. And then when COVID happened, that's when all that stuff went down. So what happened was that I started realizing that I was on the unemployment, and I was like, all right, you know what? Let me take advantage. Let me do a plan for myself. And I started going to school. I'm going to the same school with him. I started becoming one of the officers with a club that we're both together in.
Nice.
And it has to do with music, so I was like, great. And also, I started working with another company that's not even far from my house. And the only pay difference is only $1 less. And I'm like, you know what? That saves me on gas. So you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine with that. And also
every little, trust me, every little counts.
And it definitely helps me with mostly beneficially with actually working with everybody in here.
That's good.
Being on time.
That's awesome. Now you guys just recently dropped an EP, right? So let's talk about this EP. EP dropped. It was 4/4 when it dropped. And what's it called?
The EP. It's another one that we're just like, whatever, just name it something.
So wait, is it EP?
Yeah, EP, like the letters.
That's dope. You can't make this up. So now tell me, how many tracks are on this EP? Was it 5?
5.
Five tracks in the EP. Now, what's the sound that we're hearing from 4 on this EP from any other sound that 4 has ever made? So
it's definitely a mix. I mean, we have a mix of influences, and that definitely comes through. I mean, you have it's hard to throw us into a box because I think ultimately people would just be like, yeah, it's alternative, but that's because there's no other box to put us in. You can't be just because we have one reggae breakdown in the song doesn't make us a reggae band or anything like that. So it's it's just a mix, and then we have rapping in it, so that it's a mix. It's dope though.
Now, how do you guys? What's the creative process of this sound? Is it just off the rip? Is it something that you guys give each other homework? How do you guys go about this creative process with this sound? Because it's very unique. We've heard it, so it's very unique. But now, like you said, with every single instrument, it plays a part. You know what I'm saying? So you may have a different idea than you, and then vice versa. So now, how do you guys go about cohesively creating this one sound where it's we're all in agreement. We're gonna rock like this, and then we're gonna keep moving.
I think it's more about what influences us when it comes to that. There's one song that I play the guitar on, and I never play the guitar because I'm a drummer. And sometimes it's just messing around and just hearing other people's music. That inspires us. So, well, that inspires me.
And then I think as far as the songs, like especially on the EP, some of them were like I would write something first, and then bring it to them, and then be like, "This is the idea I have," and then like the reggae part in Fuckboy, like that came from Rob because it was just one day he just tried something. I was like, "Yo, that's dope. Let's do that," and then that added like a whole new part to the song. So, but it's not always like that. It changes sometimes. Like there's other songs where like we would just go to practice and be like, "Yo," and like one of us would just be like, "Oh, I just found something new, or like let's try this," and then it just turns into something. So it's always just something different.
Absolutely. Now, LJ, you being a rapper and everything, you having your own independent career, and now doing more collaborations with Four. In the future, can we see a lot more live shows with the band?
Oh,
comes to your set.
If they'll let me,
Bro,
like I love working with these guys, like especially on stage, like. The energy that I get from them is literally unmatched anywhere. Like, I can't even manufacture it myself. Like, it's just something different about being on the stage with them having my back, me having their backs,
awesome.
you know, covering each other. It's just a different energy. Like, it feels really good to perform with them. So, if they let me, I'll perform with them as much as they want.
For sure.
Now, for the band altogether, are we going to see a Four tour? Like, what's the...
Hopefully.
What's in the future? Give us a little bit of...
I mean, if we get the opportunity, yeah, for sure. It's like I said, music's expensive. So if we can save up the money to go do something and find the time to do it, for sure we will.
Right, absolutely.
You never know.
Now for one thing we like to do, especially on We Are Jersey platform, is kind of give some light to bands and people that are really trying to come up to where you guys are getting to. So what's some things you can tell people that want to be in a band like this where you can find like this trust factor? I mean, you're not always going to find it in the family, and even may not even be able to find it at that show. So what's something you can tell other people that are trying to get to the level that you guys are at, like some of the things that you guys have been through that maybe they can avoid?
I think the greatest thing is being adaptable, like being willing to not only think about your own ideas but also everybody else's at the same time, and how they mesh together, so that sometimes somebody isn't going to get their way, or somebody is going to get their way, and it's it might throw off the chemistry, but you have to understand, like I think Tommy said earlier, like you have to believe that everybody's fighting for each other inside the band. It's not like I'm saying this because I want you to feel this. It's like, all right, I'm saying this because I genuinely believe it's the best idea for us. So it's being adaptable and listening to other people and taking in everybody's input.
Yeah, just have fun with it. If you're not having fun, what's the point of doing it in the first place?
Absolutely. So when's the next EP, man? I can't wait to hear it. When's the next EP?
Hopefully soon.
So now actually I'm glad you said it like that, because what is the process of creating an EP as a band? Like, how long does it actually genuinely take?
I mean, I don't
give me the real time.
This one took us well, are we including the time before we started working on the actual EP, like with the singles, or is it just with the EP? Because with the EP, I think it took us a month and a half, 2 months to fully record the 5 songs.
Right.
But with other songs, it took us a week and a half to fully flesh it out and get things together. So
yeah, and I think it depends, because there's writing the songs themselves and then there's recording them. So recording them, depending on how long you want it to be and how long the songs are, that could vary. It could be, you could do that in a month or 2 probably, depending how much studio time you get and stuff like that. But writing them, it depends how much, when do you finally settle and say all right, this is recordable, this is what we like? Because it took us a long time to even get to that point where we were and to have enough to be we're going to go to the studio and stuff like that. So as far as the future, I think we want to get better about that, because I think we've taken too long and have perfected things too long to the point where we're okay, the song's 6 minutes long. Why? When no one wants to listen to a song I shouldn't say no one, but the average person wants a 2 to 3 minute song. So I think in the future we're trying to just keep things simple and then go from there.
Absolutely. Now, as an artist and also as a vocalist, how do you guys come up with this method of the lyrics for each of these songs? Because I'm sure you guys just do a lot of this listening, to the sounds and creating the sounds now, right? Now, putting the words to it and storytelling, as LJ likes to do. And also, as you have been performing and finding the lyricism and all the vocalism and the sound behind that, behind the acoustics and everything, because it could be the ad-libs or it could be the main voice, depending on how you want to do it, right? How do you guys make that cohesive with the sound of the band?
Well, with me, like, I adapt to what they're doing. And one thing I really like about Tommy's songwriting is that it's easy for me to bounce off of. Like, it, like, I feel like a lot of his writing is, you know, it's based on a feeling. And, you know, I can catch that feeling and be like, okay, this is what I think of when I hear these, or, you know, through casual conversation we'll come up with something like, oh, that would be like a dope song concept or something like that. So, yeah, it's really easy for me because, you know, they feed me energy and I just give it back, so.
There's a lot of energy in this room, for real.
I think for me, like LJ said, it's all feeling and stuff like that. Like, a lot of what I write is about personal experience and stuff like that, but I try to make it relatable and stuff like that, and I think that comes across a lot of times. And I try to think about like what other people are thinking and how they when they're thinking about it, and I think that goes into it too, because music's all about how you feel when you listen to it. So, but a lot of it comes from personal experience, and I think it's funny because a lot of it is about girls and stuff like that. But I read some quote the other day, I forgot who. There's some musician, and he said it was something like there would be no songs on the radio if everybody was happy. So it's basically it stems from stuff like that. So.
I like that. Now, what is the overall goal when it comes to everything with the band? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the projected future goal? It can be immediate. It could be a couple months from now. Like for each individual, like what is the goal for yourself as you grow in the band? I mean, obviously you guys stand out already when you perform, when you do things on stage. You know what I mean? You guys are just like heavy hitters. But what is like an internal goal for yourself that you would say is with being a part of this band? We can go this way.
For me, it's an immediate goal, or I guess it's immediate and long term, is to just get better every day at what I do and to continue working towards one day making music being my profession, like what I do for a living. That's basically what my motive is just to keep working until, you know, it's what I do.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think it's the same thing here. It's just practicing, trying to get better. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm the most basic drummer ever, you know, and just pushing that out of the way, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're feeling that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say it.
But other than that, I run the social media page, our like Instagram page. My goal is for like make people listen to like
definitely,
you know, just
spread the
making
love,
stuff.
definitely spread the energy that you guys have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could agree. Like, I think that's all of our goals in a way. Like, I definitely want to get better because I have like this essential tremor. Like my hand shakes. You can even see it live sometimes. But that's like my goal, like to get better at how to calm myself down and like just to get us out there in general for people to see us and like listen to our music and all that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all want people to listen to it. There's no point in doing it. But I think I always, a friend of mine, his name is Freddie, he said something that like resonated with me a while back. He was like, if I could perform for 1,000 people, that would be dope. Like, I'd be content. Right. Not that he's gonna stop there, but I was like, yo, I could definitely agree with that. So if I could do that someday, not that I'm not gonna stop there, but that's like a short term goal, hopefully.
That's good.
But long term, who knows? The sky's the limit, you know.
Absolutely.
I would say just loving it, man. Literally just loving, like, you know, like the people that are around, and, you know, loving the people who are surrounded by, you know, the way, like, we all look at each other, the way we're inspired by, like, all these artists that we see. And, like, not only that, just, you know, just seeing these guys as, like, a big giant family that, you know, that probably just, you know, saved all of us in some sort of sense.
Any future collaborations you guys are working on?
Freddie.
Yeah, probably are from Freddie, but for sure we don't know yet. But there's definitely some ideas.
Definitely. They don't want to give us too much.
That's you gotta wait.
That's why they're not doing
it. The last artist we actually did perform with from like a couple times was Young Bree. She's like really cool, man. She's like a really cool artist. She was always content. She's always committed. Like she's like, oh, I want to hang out with you guys. I want to have fun. All right, come on in.
Yeah, we're like the
Open
brothers,
doors.
and now like she's like the sister now.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
awesome.
pretty cool.
She's
That's
part
dope.
of 4.
Good for you guys, man. It's awesome. Like I said, man, we are Jersey Magazine. 4 is here, man. Make sure you guys go check them out. Tell them how they can book you guys, follow you guys, go down the line, show you Instagram tags, everything. Go for it.
Literally go on our website. .iv.band. Literally, you get all the platforms there.
Say it again, Rob.
www.iv.band.
Perfect.
Which is 4 in Roman numerals.
Or follow us on Instagram.
Yeah. At
Underscore.
band.
Yeah, you got it.
Go.
Band underscore IV.
Say it again. Say it again.
Band underscore IV.
Yeah, I think I don't want any personal followers. We just want, I don't know, but if you guys want to like throw your tags out, but I just want people to follow.
Yeah, they'll follow me. I have nothing special.
Yeah, I don't
Follow
post
the
nothing.
band. You want to tell me that, brother?
Yeah, LJ_the_alien. You guys can follow me there.
Heard it here first, man. We are Jersey Magazine 4. Signing off.
We are Jersey. 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 We are Jersey.